What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Connor Hughes MMA channel. And today we are going to be breaking down the International Fight Week card, UFC 329, Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway 2. This is an unbelievably stacked card for International Fight Week. Can't believe that McGregor's actually back. Still nervous that he wasn't in the first embedded episode. But it's been 1,820 something days since we could last say it's Conor McGregor fight week. So let's get into it. Let's break down this card. First fight of the night, we have Alessandro Costa versus Cody Durden. I think Cody Durden is complete garbage. I think his record of 18-10 truly shows who he is as a fighter. He reminds me of a small Junior Tafa, where you're just not expecting anything out of him, and you just wonder why he's still in the UFC. He's coming off a win. I don't know how. I thought that in his last fight he was going to get demolished, but he did end up coming out on top, and he was able to show that he does have toughness, he does have grit if he needs to bite down on the mouthpiece and swing. But I think Alessandro Costa is the last guy that you want to run into if you're going to do that. Alessandro Costa's build reminds me of I'm not saying he has the skill set of Michael Chandler, or else he would never win a fight. But he's got the build, the stockiness of Michael Chandler, where he's going to be the shorter guy, and he's just a ball of muscle. Like, just looking at this guy, you would think maybe less than 8% body fat. And you're probably right. His ability on the ground with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is also going to be better than Durden. And in this fight, I can see Cody Durden getting super sloppy, dropping his hands like he tends to do. I can see Alessandro Costa ripping a big shot up top, maybe something follow to the body. And then I think Cody Durden's going to fall. And I think from there, Alessandro Costa is going to find a submission of either a Darce choke from dropping him or getting on his back from dropping him and getting a rear naked choke. Next fight on the card, at middleweight, Zachary Reese versus Ryan Gondra. Now, there's Brazilians, but there are a lot of different types of Brazilians. Lyoto Machida, Japanese Brazilian. Anderson Silva, African Brazilian. Ryan Gondra reminds me a lot of Kevin Christensen, who fought Junior Tafa, who had a great record, but I don't think that he has the technical ability or the power to compete with a guy like Zachary Reese. Ryan Gondra looks chubby. And he just looks like he's very weak to the body. And I think in a fight where he's going to be at a height disadvantage against Zachary Reese, who doesn't have the best kicks, but I believe his body kicks will be able to land on Ryan Gondra. And I believe as this fight goes on, we're going to see Ryan Gondra slow down. We're going to see him drop his hands. And I think we're going to see a nasty uppercut finish or a brutal finish to this fight where Ryan Gondra gets absolutely outclassed and shown that there is levels. Zachary Reese does have more losses, but he has fought some really good names. He's not fought anyone that's going to go on to be a champion, but I just don't think Ryan Gondra is the type of person that goes on to do great things in the UFC. He doesn't have a great build for middleweight. I think he would be, and if he were to go down to welterweight, I think he would just be at a severe skill disadvantage. So I think this is going to be a really rough fight for Ryan Gondra. And I think Zachary Reese is going to get a finish in the second round with a right hand over the top. Next fight. Oh. Okay. John Garza versus Basharat Farid Basharat. It won't let me expand this one. Now, obviously, this fight was supposed to be Farid Basharat versus Ethan Ewing. If that was still the fight, I would be here talking to you about how the Professor Finesser is going to beat Farid Basharat to a pulp and style on him. And the reason I think that I don't have much research or information on John Garza. Let's do this. I'm gonna take Farid Basharat as an underdog. Maybe if I knew anything about this guy. Can I go to his fight history, or will it not show me it? Yeah, I don't think it's gonna show me. But short notice against a guy as good as Farid Basharat, especially if these are the betting odds, I will be taking Farid Basharat, probably to get a finish. Next fight, Cesar Almeida versus Damian Pinas. Now, from what Cesar Almeida has shown in his, I forget, it clearly wasn't his last fight because he's coming off a loss. But when he fought Mansour Abdul Malik, I believe, he had gotten knocked down brutally. And as Abdul Malik is unloading shots all over of Almeida's face, he's able to take them and then return with a right hook. I believe it was a right or left hook that sent Mansour Abdul Malik out cold. And it was one of the most brutal finishes, one of the quickest comebacks I've seen. So this guy can take shots, but can he take shots from a Pinas? Damian Pinas, very big, very muscular Pinas. And I think Damian Pinas is going to get I don't want to say anything super crazy. I think Damian Pinas is going to be the aggressor in this fight. The one part about it that does worry me is just by looking at both of these guys, granted the distance from the camera might be different, I think that after once the bell rings, Cesar Almeida will have a weight advantage over Damian Pinas. And I believe that Damian Pinas is just going to be too accurate with his shots and just land and unload all over the face of Cesar Almeida and probably cause cuts. And then somehow there's going to be something salty getting in Almeida's cuts, whether it be sweat or something else from Pinas. But yeah, I'm going to be taking Damian Pinas to win this fight. I think by decision. I think Almeida's chin is extremely good. And I think he's going to be able to make it to the bell. Following up some Pinas, we got Wang Penis back-to-back on the card. And I mean, I'm not going to explain fully what I mean here because I want to keep some blur here. But by looking at these two fights, tell me this doesn't look like a... I wasn't alive, just to be honest. I'm not Unk. But late 90s, early 2000s WWE match where maybe there's some... Wang Kong doesn't look like Tracy Cortez, and Tracy Cortez doesn't look like Wang Kong. Just based off looks, to be totally honest, I think Wang Kong's gonna win the fight. Wang Kong's one loss was, I believe she got head kicked and then submitted. I I thought she was also doing really well in that fight. I thought she got caught. And I just believe that I believe that this is a fight that they're putting on the card because it for Tracy Cortez, maybe not in her mind, but for the UFC and a lot of fans, it doesn't matter how well she fights. A lot of people are, let's be honest, she's a very attractive girl. And a lot of people are fans of her just because of that. Whereas if you're a fan of Wang Kong, you're a fan of her ability. Um, so because of that, I just think Wang Kong is a actual like MMA fighter. I think that this is her only, like, she doesn't have any backup plan. Whereas if Tracy Cortez were to lose in this fight, she does have other avenues to go down, uh, being like, fighting isn't the end all be all for Tracy Cortez. Whereas for Wang Kong, the hype she's had, the career before the UFC she's had, and I think the comparisons to or the similarities between her and the style of a Rose Namajunas, I feel like Wang Kong is going to be a mainstay in the top 5 of the women's flyweight division for many years to come. And I think Tracy Cortez might be on her way out and looking to do other things. But yeah, I think Wang Kong is going to give it to Tracy Cortez in this fight. Probably win by ground and pound finish. Next fight on the card, Luke Riley versus Kai Kamaka. Now, Luke Riley's a big favorite here. I really did not like how he looked against Slava Claus. What's that guy's name? Vyacheslav Borshev, I believe. I thought he lost the first round, and then he got a nice comeback finish. I also think Kai Kamaka is very powerful. He has the ability, because he's got the ability to knock Luke Riley out and knock Luke Riley out bad. But I think Luke Riley has a major grappling advantage. I think this fight is going to be super interesting, whether it stays standing or go to the ground. But with the odds the way they are, I'm going to be taking Kai Kamaka as an underdog. Because Luke Riley, click on it, I believe, yeah, he fought Mike Aswell, but or Bogdangrad, not Vyacheslav Borshev. I thought Bogdangrad won the first round of that fight, and I thought Luke Riley looked like he shouldn't have been there. And at least in the first round. In the second round, he caught him and finished him. But I don't think Kai Kamaka is going to leave himself open enough for the non-perfect shot to put him down and out. I also think he's going to be the more aggressive fighter, and I believe Luke Riley might start to panic. But yeah, for this fight, I'm going to be taking the underdog of Kai Kamaka to win by decision, 29-28, by winning the first and the third round. Yeah, I think we haven't seen Luke Riley in the UFC go to the ground much, but in Cage Warriors, he was an elite grappler. I was just double checking that. Next fight on the card, Cody Garbrandt versus Adrian Yanez. At this point, I don't know if there's a fight that you can put in front of Cody Garbrandt at the 135-pound division, where I sit here and I think, like, oh, here we go. Cody's gonna get him here. He's gonna make his comeback. I just don't see him beating anybody. In his last fight against Rongju, uh, only won because Rongju couldn't stop kicking him in the nuts. And Adrian Yanez has knockout power, which is unfortunate for Cody Garbrandt because anything kind of touches his chin, he's done. He doesn't have the. He's still got the speed and mobility that he used to have, and he's still got the emoting, but he doesn't. After emoting, he doesn't do anything with it. He just stands there, does, and then next exchange, he's getting caught with a 1-2, and he's wobbling. Like all Cody Garbrandt fights since 2021, or like 2022, where he had that last second knockout, where he like ducked down and then threw it. Only way I can predict a Cody Garbrandt win is by a spectacular fluke knockout. And I don't think that's going to happen against Adrian Yanez. I'm going to predict Adrian Yanez to submit Cody Garbrandt in the second round. I think the first round, we're going to have a lot of emoting from Cody Garbrandt because he's going to stay at range thinking if he's not getting hit, he's winning. Meanwhile, he's not going to throw. And I think in the second round, Cody Garbrandt is going to commit to something, get taken down and submitted from there. I believe Adrian Yanez is going to win this fight pretty easily. Now, come on, UFC website. There we go. For our next fight, we have Alicia Ellison versus what's the guy? Jerry Sandusky. I don't care if I get the pick wrong. I will never pick Gable Steveson to win a fight. For those that don't know, you can look it up now. A couple years ago in Minnesota, Gable Steveson was accused of unlawful penetration, and basically, to make the story short, Minnesota had a weird law that even if you're drunk, you can consent, even if you like didn't remember it. And so Gable Steveson got off scot-free. And since then, there's now something that law was then changed immediately after. So I mean, the guy is. I mean, again, this is all alleged because it was thrown out, but I just will not pick him to win a fight. I hope he gets brutally slimed each fight he takes. It makes sense that he chose to train with John Jones. Fuck you, Gable Steveson. Shouldn't even be in the UFC. Next fight on the card, we have Robert Whittaker's light heavyweight debut. Now, for a quick little information tidbit. No. Listen. Robert Whittaker is a top 10 middleweight of all time. I fully believe that. But what he has shown in his last couple fights is that the wear and tear is getting to him. His body isn't physically as ready, I guess, for these quick switches of things, if that makes sense. But Nikita Krylov kind of sucks. What is the betting odds for this? That's honestly probably what I would have it at. But I just my whole thought process behind this is if Robert Whittaker wants to, he has experience of going 5 rounds. I believe his last fight was 5 rounds against Rainer de Ritter, and that's also coming off a weight cut. I believe he's not going to have to cut as much weight clearly for this fight. And I believe since it's only 3 rounds, he will be able to put a pace on Nikita Krylov that since Nikita Krylov has always been a light heavyweight, he's probably not going to be able to keep up with. And I expect as this fight goes on, for Nikita Krylov to become less active, less sting in his shots. But I'm still worried for Whittaker because it's only a 3-round fight. I believe that the adjusting period for Whittaker to feel out light heavyweight might be the first round. And because of that, I'm not sure exactly how Robert Whittaker is going to be able to come back and make sure he gets the next 2 rounds for himself. But I'm still going to pick Robert Whittaker, although I think this is as close to a 50-50 fight as you can get. I just believe in Whittaker's ability to move up in weight and deal with everything. Then I believe Nikita Krylov is going to be able to deal with the lighter man skill and speed of Robert Whittaker. Now, what could be the fight of the year? Bobby Green versus Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney is one of the best fighters in the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of a fight. And from what I've heard, there's apparently beef going into this fight. Bobby Green is not happy with Terrence McKinney at all. Bobby Green apparently was always telling Terrence McKinney that you don't fight your homies. But here we are. I actually had the amazing blessing of seeing Bobby Green's last fight at UFC 328 versus I believe it was Jeremy Stevens. Yeah. And Bobby Green put on an incredible performance. It really does seem like there is heavyweights out there that, or not like heavyweights, excuse me, lightweights out there where the unks of the division just are there to stay. And for this fight, I think the only reasonable bet for this fight, just take Terrence McKinney by like finish in the first 2 minutes if you can find it. Because I mean, it's either he finishes Bobby Green in the first 2 minutes or he gasses himself out and quits on himself. That's the Terrence McKinney experience. I'm a huge fan of Terrence McKinney and his story. From overdosing and being pronounced dead twice, I think, to now being on the main card of International Fight Week and a McGregor card. I just want to say congrats to Terrence McKinney. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of both of these fighters, which is why this sucks to pick. Give me Bobby Green to break all their hearts. I just think Bobby Green has legitimately reached like a new level at his age. The only thing about this that worries me is if Bobby Green does get backed up into the cage. When that happens, he seems to get like brutally slimed out. Never mind. Give me Terrence McKinney by first round knockout. I actually have no idea who I want to pick. So we're going to do the only thing that makes sense. Heads, tails. Heads is Bobby Green. Tails is McKinney. All right. I can't find. Oh, there it is. It was heads. All right. We're taking Bobby Green by late first round stoppage. Yeah. Let's go, Bobby. Big fan of Bobby Green. Big fan of Terrence McKinney. I don't want to see either of them lose. I want to see like a double knockout where they both brutally chin each other. That'd be great. That'd be optimal. Next fight on the card, Brandon Royval versus Loney Kavanaugh. In my opinion, Loney Kavanaugh, smart man, taking the Josh Van method. Get slimed out by Charles Johnson. Win a fight. Eventually fight Brandon Royval. Perfect. I think that Loner Kavanaugh is going to win this fight pretty dominantly. For Brandon Royval being at the top of the flyweight division for so long, he only has 8 more wins than he has losses. Brandon Royval is just a hype merchant at flyweight. And Loner Kavanaugh has much better skills, much better striking, and I believe he has a better chin than Brandon Royval. And I believe that Loner Kavanaugh is going to win this fight. Same way Joshua Van beat, Brandon Royval, where it's going to be super close, a super close fight. But towards the end, Loner Kavanaugh is going to make it more obvious that he should be the winner. Sorry, I'm dealing with I'm trying to get a job, guys. Okay, let's go back to all right. Yeah, so especially with the odds being this, okay, I just want to get into one thing. I know a lot of the times that maybe people just pick who they think they're going to win. A lot of the times I like to make my picks off of whether or not I think like the odds are wrong. There's been some instances in the past where I thought the odds were wrong, but they like should have like my biggest example was Diego Lopez versus Gene Silva. I thought Diego Lopez should have been at least pick 'em in that fight. Whereas instead, he was like a 2.3 to 1 underdog. But he was able to win the fight, obviously. And this is one of those fights where, before even looking at the odds, I thought Loner Kavanaugh would be a 3 to 1 favorite, which isn't the case. And this, I thought McKinney would be a 2 to 1 favorite. And so yeah, a bunch of my picks do go through that. Next fight Loner Kavanaugh decision is my pick for the last fight. This is a tough one. Wait, is he not coming off a? Oh no, I forgot. Yeah, he beat Figgy. I thought he was coming off the Umar fight. Yeah, this is a very interesting fight. This is also a rematch. Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Batista. Oh, there's something on my personal screen. I thought something was wrong with Corey Sandhagen's eye. This is a super interesting fight. I believe I just have to lean towards Corey Sandhagen in this because I believe he's got just more experience fighting guys like Mario Batista than Mario Batista has experience fighting guys like Sandhagen. I believe Sandhagen in this fight is going to be try to be super technical, so where he can keep Mario Batista off his hips and stay off the cage because Mario Batista has the most devastating knees to the thigh in the game. Like you want to talk about like signature moves. You have Dustin Poirier's guillotine. You have Alex Perez's left hook. You have and then like the magnum opus, the Mario Batista knee to the thigh. I believe coming off of the Marab fight, I believe that Corey Sandhagen in the first round looked really good against Marab. And I think he again got too comfortable and almost got chinned by Marab in the second round. I Mario Batista almost finished Umar Nurmagomedov, I believe, with a knee as Umar was shooting in. This is such a tough fight because, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of either of these guys. Like either one of them winning isn't gonna like get me out of my seat and be like, yeah, let's go Sandhagen, let's go Bautista. To be honest, I think this should have been the featured fight. I think, or like, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just not interested in this fight. Not even just because it's a rematch. It just to me seems boring. Uh, I don't know. I can't even imagine in my head how this fight is gonna go, because in one instance I can see Sandhagen staying at range, calf kicking, doing nothing, or I can see Bautista nonstop shooting and kneeing the thigh. Therefore, for the first time in the Conor Hughes MMA channel, I'm gonna pick a draw. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna take Corey Sandhagen by decision. Boring fight. You're gonna hear this fight's gonna be booed. Um, yeah, I just don't think we're gonna have an interesting featured fight. Now for the co-main event of the evening, we have Paddy the Baddy Pimlet versus Benoit God of War Saint Denis. I'm super excited for this fight. I wanted to see these guys fight for a long time, and I think this is going to be a absolute war. I think from what I'm hearing, BSD has staph infection again. Um, I think that's 4 out of his last 5 fights. Maybe someone needs to introduce this guy to like bar soap. Maybe I don't even know what the fuck he's doing. But yeah, he's coming off a nice win. Who did he beat? Dan Hooker by ground and pound. I forgot the roofie fight was before. And Patty's obviously coming off the loss to Gaethje. I think a lot of people saw the Paddy Pimlet fight versus Gaethje as him being fraud checked. He was eye poked so much in that fight, and multiple of them on one of the knockdowns, he had borderline Justin Gaethje's whole finger in his eye, and I mean, ref didn't step in to even give him a slight break. So now he's taking even more shots on the eye that was just poked in. And for people forget that Paddy Pimlet did win the third round of that fight purely on the feet versus Justin Gaethje. I think this fight is going to be a dog fight. I believe that Benoit Saint Denis is going to use his body kicks to success. And I've been thinking maybe the path to finishing Paddy Pimblett isn't with punches or shots to the head. Maybe Scousers actually can't be knocked out, but every human being has a liver, and every human being, it sucks getting hit in the body. Let me just tell you. And I believe the constant barrage of body kicks from Saint Denis is going to cause Pimblett problems. And I just don't see Paddy getting off much effective grappling in this fight. as as much as I am a fan of Patty and not the biggest fan of Saint Denis, I think I will be picking Saint Denis by decision, close to 49-46, maybe 48-47. I just, unless the staph infection is really bad, I don't see Saint Denis getting slowed down or hurt in this fight. And now for the main event, you all doubted me. You all said I couldn't do it. You've all complained that I'm not on the embedded episode. Hey, brother. I'm the Heat, brother. Wow. Just looking at this again, this just feels like unbelievable. Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway, 2 at welterweight. I'm so excited for this fight. I've been listening to Foggy Dew X Hypnotize on repeat. And okay, let me get in the breakdown before I just start like having fun, I guess. Obviously McGregor coming off 5-year layoff, 1,824 days. And he's coming off one of the worst injuries we've ever seen in the sport. Just a complete fracture of the leg, where the bones were not connected at all. And I mean, just one of the most gruesome injuries to look at. But, and Max Holloway since then, I believe he's had 8 fights, maybe more, or maybe a little less. But, in that time, Max Holloway has been knocked out, knocked down again, and he just got dominated by Oliveira. Granted, McGregor cannot do what Oliveira did to Max, regardless of what happened in their first fight in 2014 or whatever. Conor McGregor, his first rounds are always some of the best striking and technical ability that you will ever see in an MMA cage. Max Holloway has touched the floor, and I believe his last 4 fights, I believe he hit the floor versus Gaethje, Ilya, Dustin, and then, I mean, Charles took him to the ground, but during the point down, Charles hit Max and kind of wobbled him. Max's chin is not what it used to be. I believe that the ballooning up to 170 isn't going to do him any favors, because I believe after weigh-ins, he won't be able to get up to, like, I believe his max will be like 182 maybe on fight night, whereas like McGregor will be up to 185, 188. And I still do believe that, or I didn't believe in the McGregor that was coming back to fight Chandler, although looking back at it now, that probably could not have been a better reintroduction to the sport. But there's something about the McGregor in interviews where it's not the brash, clearly on substances guy that he used to be. It seems like he's found himself and he's found peace again. So for how I see this fight going, I see early in this fight, McGregor coming out with spinning kicks, maybe some just overhand lefts, some bombs. I see Max Holloway starting to avoid him at first, but it just, there's not many things in life that can be perfect. There's very few things. A wedding can be perfect. The birth of your child can be perfect. And the only other thing that can be perfect besides Domingo Herman is a Conor McGregor first round knockout. There's something about when McGregor does what he does in the first round and is able to get the finish, that all aspects of it couldn't have been better. And it's been 5 years, or I don't even remember how long it's been since the Cerrone fight. I just believe the UFC is due for a, or not, I wouldn't say due. I believe McGregor is due. I believe there's been so much disappointment with him. So I'm gonna make the bold prediction. Conor McGregor is going to beat Max Holloway by first round knockout with the same punch he did versus Aldo. I'm not saying it's going to be in 13 seconds, but I think Max Holloway is going to start to feel comfortable with McGregor missing the shots, maybe backs away from a spinning kick, dodges an overhand. I feel when Max, if he finally does pressure McGregor in the first round, I can just see a head movement and just straight on the chin of Max, putting him down. And then there's something about McGregor's ground and pound where it's so precise that I think if he's able to get Holloway down, I think that would be the fight. I don't think Holloway has the ability to scramble off bottom to the point where after he gets knocked down, he might clinch and wrap McGregor. But I think if this fight goes past the first round, we're going to see McGregor start to wear down, start to eat shots, not as good. And I believe someone's getting knocked out. Someone's getting finished. But knowing that, I have to pick Conor McGregor. This might be the only time in the history of my channel I get to even predict one of his fights. So we're going to go with McGregor by first round knockout over Max Holloway. I just want to say sorry for not uploading in a couple days. I've been trying to get a real job. I graduated a couple months ago. I just want to say thank you everyone for watching. If you stayed to the end, please like and subscribe. Surprise, surprise, the king is back.